right. We're back on the Morning Brew with Friends, and this is Augustine Romero. He is the curator for the South Broadway Cultural Center here in Albuquerque, and you brought a special guest, Rush Dudley, who's an artist and photographer, and you guys have a big show coming up at the South Broadway. Or I guess it's up now, right?
Yeah, it actually opens this Thursday, February 4th, and it starts from 5 to 9. We have an art exhibit, music by Moonhat, then a documentary film about the artist Ray Johnson.
And Ray Johnson, this one sounds really interesting because you're telling me that he was a contemporary of Andy Warhol's. Like,
yeah,
were they buddies?
Yeah, the documentary is a series of interviews of big-time artists of his time, and they all talk about how they shared collaboration and time and space making art. You know, so he was a performance artist, and he used to mail a lot of his art through the mail, and so he was doing a lot of cutting edge stuff at the time, but he didn't receive the recognition.
What do you mean mail his art? Would he just like send it, or did that become the art?
There was he was trying to get his work in some collections, and he found loopholes on how to do that, and one way was through getting it through the mail.
So if I just like sketch something and it's like send it to the Smithsonian and said add this to your collection, they would?
In essence, yeah.
I love
well,
that.
In essence,
that's punk rock.
Yeah.
That is, I love that.
So this was all like the 60s, 70s stuff. So it's about his life and death as an artist.
That's pretty cool. And it's called Moonhat.
No, it's called How to Draw
So
a Bunny.
Moonhat is the band.
Moonhat is the band.
How to Draw a Bunny is there we go. That's the film. And then Rush, you're a photographer.
That's correct.
You're one of 5 who are featured in this show. And I know that your work deals with the natural world.
Well, it does. When I was in college, I used to wonder why my friends went camping. And then one day in Yellowstone, I actually found out why you go out to the great.
It's a mystery to me, too. What did you find?
Words fail us.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes pictures fail us. But these, I'm the apprentice of the group. The other folks I've been studying with, they're real masters, and they communicate what we call the wild. And it's hard to put into words. But
well, so we have some photos. I think we have. There we go. Is this one of yours, or is this one of the other guys from the group?
No, this is by a photographer from the East Coast named Ken Spencer. This is at Chaco Canyon, and that's actually Venus at an alignment. This is at the Very Large Array that's in southern New Mexico, and it's the beginning of the 2012 solar eclipse. It was a partial eclipse, but he really caught the drama, I believe.
Right, absolutely.
And of course, Shiprock.
Right.
You just wait for the right light. You end up waiting a lot. But then,
Is this one of yours then?
Well, this is not. This is by Vance Ley, who's also an astronomer, and he has some astronomy images in it, in the show. This is by Stan Honda, who lives across the street from, in New York, from Central Park.
Wow. And
comes to the American West for our dark skies. We have true primitive dark skies in the American West.
Well, we go to New York City to not see the dark skies.
No, you don't. Well, you go to Central and 4th Street and you don't see the dark skies.
That too.
This is my image. It's a show poster, and it's a bison giving me the 500-yard stare at Yellowstone. And when a bison or a wolf or a gray squirrel gives you a 500-yard stare, you better pay attention.
I don't know that, but I know that now.
Yeah.
Next time I'm out in the wilderness and I see some animal giving me that, I am. So what do? Just run, hide?
No, you
try to camouflage yourself.
No, you just respect their space, basically.
Excellent.
And don't run.
How did you become a photographer?
Well, I'm a retired stagehand.
Oh.
And I was in a national park, and there were people there taking pictures, and I asked, how the heck do you do that? And
how long ago was that?
Well, 10 years.
So it's been a while of practice.
Well, it has, and the whole community is very giving and will take you under their wing, and that's what these four fellows have done for me.
That's very cool. So how did you, Augustine, find guys like Rush to get in the shows at South Broadway?
Rush approached me about 5 years ago, and I first showed his work in the library at the South Broadway Cultural Center. And I suggested, why don't you gather some of your friends who are doing similar photos and let's create an exhibit. And
cool.
5 years later...
5 years later, it finally happened. These things don't happen overnight, do they?
Well, no. And there's a process of selecting the images and coming up with a kind of a central theme. And our theme is it's all wonder and amazement out there.
That is true.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people forget about the South Broadway. It is one of the greatest rooms in town, both for, you guys have the great theater there, of course.
Yeah, it's a real gem.
Right? And then you have the library, which is cool with the great natural lighting. And then you have the gallery.
The gallery, yes.
And how long have you been at the gallery? It's been a while now.
Yeah, it's going to be 10 years in July.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And then what's the next big show you guys have coming up there?
It's, after this show, I'm working on it, and I can't remember the name.
That's all right. It's early. I hate to put you on the spot.
I also do the chemo, too, so I'll be changing out a show there soon.
Oh, very cool. We'll come back on the show when the chemo show swaps out.
Right.
Two great rooms.
Yeah.
Back in a couple of seconds in the Morning Brew with friends.
In the footsteps of those who came before, making great strides from Estebanico to the Buffalo Soldiers, to those who stood on the front lines of the Civil Rights Movement. Ours is a rich history that strengthens us to forge a path towards a powerful future. Honor your ancestors. Honor yourself. At the 5th Annual New Mexico Black History Festival.